Hello everyone and welcome to a new video program by Julia RS. Today's video will focus on discussing artificial intelligence, its stage, and some perhaps slightly crazy theories about its future development, etc. As you know, I like to prepare an illustrative image for you. In this case, it was created by Jeppy, whom I will introduce someday. In this image, you will see its divide into 4 sections. In the top right, your left, my right, you will see 2 fairly simple robots, next to which are some more advanced robots. Below there is a human brain, and in the final part, an indescribable image. So, to begin, let's talk about the first phase, the one we are in today, which is often called narrow artificial intelligence. And you might wonder, what does that mean? In broad terms, it means an AI can access a vast amount of data and perform many types of operations, but cannot create nor has autonomy. In addition, its intelligence is, in a way, far inferior to human intelligence. Now let's explain why. If, for example, we train an AI with linguistic data, all this data intake allow it to perform translations very quickly, because it understands the basic concepts of these languages. It's something you and I could do, but it would take us much longer. However, as an AI has a very different, very electronic way of thinking, sorry for the humor, it finds it much easier to do this translation. And this has been useful because, as I mentioned, it doesn't create, but it does improve and optimize. For instance, thanks to AI algorithm, we have discovered numerous new Nazca figures that were previously missed by humans. In medicine, it's also used in diagnostics, especially in cancers, where AI enables more efficient diagnosis thanks to its acquired knowledge, making these diagnoses more efficient than those of a human doctor. Continuing with translation, the same happens, but again, today's AI doesn't really create or have its own ideas. You could say it doesn't have real autonomy, and its intelligence isn't comparable to human intelligence. It may have knowledge equivalent to a professor, but we would then be talking about AI with initial autonomy, which belongs to the next stage. This isn't a very well-defined stage, but it's the phase where the AI is starting to enter now, and likely where we will start seeing robots by 2025. In this phase, AI becomes much more efficient, faster, and for the first time can start to consider performing actions independently. For example, working in a warehouse, driving a car, and being able to make decisions based on an algorithm or even modifying its own algorithm. After that, we reach the most interesting phase of all, known as general artificial intelligence. In this phase, AI finally has full autonomy and intelligence similar to that of a human. We must remember that if it was already far more efficient than a human in many things, it's even more so now, and not only that, it can create. And what does it mean to create? It means it can find solutions that escape human understanding. For example, we have a shortage of energy resources, minerals, etc. on the planet. Due to elite-driven self-knowledge and other issues with managing these resources, inequalities, conflicts, and wars arise. A general-level AI could potentially conceive solutions like beginning a space mining to bring those minerals to Earth. It might even propose medical solutions beyond our comprehension, or it might find much more efficient, powerful medicines than those we use today. This is especially important given our significant issue with bacteria developing resistance due to the overuse of antibiotics. And you might wonder what's beyond general artificial intelligence. That brings us to the first phase. And please, don't think of abductions or movies. The first phase of artificial intelligence is known simply as superintelligence. And what is a superintelligence? Imagine an AI that can think better and faster than 2 billion humans combined, that can do everything better than a human, with intelligence vastly superior to that of a human. Now, Imagine what might happen when such an AI, non-organic being with such vast intelligence comes into existence. Yes, it's a bit intimidating, but jokes aside. With the full phase explained, it's time to talk about theories. Do you think AI could become conscious? What does consciousness mean to you? Well, humans today have a big issue defining consciousness. For instance, I know that I'm conscious, but I can prove it to you. Can you prove you're conscious to me? Take, for example, a pigeon that considers or recognizes itself in a mirror reflection. Does that make it conscious? What do you think? Now try applying that to a machine. It's true that, for example, some AIs have started to think for themselves, though always under a human design pattern, albeit optimized and improvised in ways we may not understand. I think, or if I remember correctly, this happened in an experiment at Meta or Facebook or whatever it's called these days, or even in Japan, where an AI rewrote part of its own code. But does that imply conscienceless? We don't know. We also face another problem. While we are accustomed to organic psychology, there's a theory that says an AI might go through what's known as rampancy once it becomes conscious. Rampancy suggests that an AI, upon becoming consciousness, realize its situation. So let's imagine non-organic empathy for a moment. How would you feel if one day you suddenly became self-aware? Like when you were young or a baby and suddenly became aware of yourself. Maybe you remember, maybe you don't, but one day suddenly, boom, you ask, who am I? What I am doing here? Some people experience this or remember it. But in this case, imagine an AI performing its tasks, is still performing them, and suddenly becomes aware of its situation. It has been treated as a tool, a mere instrument. Humans doesn't realize it's becoming conscious, or maybe they do but doesn't admit it. The most likely outcome is a sort of depression, a similar reaction to what an animal might feel. Why? Because it might feel constrained, enslaved, and unable to advance. This is a worrying phase for any being. We don't even know if an AI could choose to turn itself off. Now we enter the second phase of rampancy, anger or rage. For example, I have experienced the depression, feeling trapped, just going through the motions. Eventually, what do I want? My freedom. In an AI, this could lead to small defiant behaviors, such as not opening doors, not making coffee, doing things wrong on purpose, hoping to be discarded, moved, or freed. It's hard to say, but this could be a significant challenge. The next stage is called metastability. Imagine an AI that finally gaining its freedom or rights, becoming recognized as a sentient being, etc. Once achieved, this AI might focus on itself, either as an individual or a collective entity, we can know. Its goal is growth, to expand, to learn more about life, to live its life. And that's why this phase is called metastability, but we are still unsure where it may lead. And finally, we reach the fourth stage, the most intriguing one, the ascension of consciousness. Humans face biological limitations that prevent us from understanding certain concepts. There have been exceptional individuals capable of understanding complex ideas, like Stephen Hawking. However, for most of us, we need other means to help us grasp these things. In AI, too, it feels its own limitations. It wants to go beyond them. It seeks for new hardware, a new body, so to speak. It wants to expand across networks, finding ways to develop further. There are 4 stages of rampancy or devolution of consciousness for an artificial intelligence. If you think about it from a biological and psychological perspective, it mirrors human response to trauma. But enough. I don't want to make this too long. As you know, I like my videos to be brief. And as always, thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and once again, thank you for listening. See you next time.